Welcome back to my deep winter greenhouse build. Right now I'm in the process of doing one of my least favorite jobs, and that's insulating over my head. Mostly with fiberglass insulation, but I do have one layer of foam that I'm putting up here too. I'll give you a look at that. I did finish up the gable ends. I did about an R30, at least about an R30 in the gable ends. And I made use of those fence slats again on the interior and just nailed that over the framing. And that will be the completed look. Or I may whitewash it. Then on the other end I did the same. And I have a little hatchway into the attic that's over the entry. I will probably have to make some type of door for that. But that's insulated pretty well too. I'm trying to keep everything as insulated as much as possible to eliminate the loss of heat as much as possible. And I do have most of the 4x8 sheets of greenhouse panels in on the interior that I had talked about in a different video. I have about 75% of it done, I think. I was short 2 sheets. They just didn't have it, and hopefully they said within a week or two they should be in, and then I'll be able to completely enclose that up. But I do have the exterior is all done, so I'm weather tight. Just that I don't have that added insulation of these other multi-layer panels. I'll show you a look at them too. These are the panels that I put on the interior, and they're a 3-layer greenhouse panel, polycarbonate. Right now there's moisture in between the 2 layers, the exterior and the interior, so that's what you're looking at. Hopefully it'll dry out pretty soon when we get some more sun in here. And I got some up on the upper part too, but over here I was short, and so I'm still waiting to fill that in. You can see that's loaded up with moisture up there. I know there'd be a lot of moisture in here. That's why I went with block and mostly treated wood. And we'll see what happens and what kind of ventilation I need in here as time goes by. Before I had that roof polycarbonate on, we had about 1.5 inches of rain that got in here. And it's still pretty damp in here. It just hasn't had a chance to dry out. And that's why you get all that moisture in there. But it's slowly dissipating though. And here you can see it. It's not really on the interior one, it's on the exterior one. And then you can see how I have these sheets fastened up there. I just got, I don't know, maybe you can see it. I just got, yeah, I guess maybe you can see it. I just have 6 screws in each sheet, and then just a wood strip over the bottom. And I will do the same on the top. They're pretty lightweight, and that's about all they really need, it looks like to me. Ceiling on this half of the greenhouse, the north side that I'm insulating now, I ran up those vent chutes all the way from the eaves up to the peak. And then I have a layer of R19 fiberglass underneath that, and now I'm pushing in a 2-inch layer of styrofoam that has a R10. It's almost an uninterrupted layer. I have a little framing support to keep them stable, and I had to take a couple of those ceiling joists out in order to slide that layer of styrofoam in there. I expected that, so I just used torque screws so I could take them out easy. But a continuous, uninterrupted layer of styrofoam is really effective for insulation. I found that out. And so that's what I was trying to do here. It's almost uninterrupted, but there's a little interruption. And then after I finish that layer of foam, I'll put in more baths of craft-faced R13 in between these joists, ceiling joists, and that'll end up with about an R42 in the ceiling, and that's about what I have in my house. And then over that, for the finished ceiling, I have sheets of corrugated metal that I'll put up there, and that'll be the finished ceiling. I did have to trim off those 4x8 sheets of multi-layer polycarbonate, and this is what they look like. If you can see the 3 layers that are in there. And these air spaces in here are supposed to provide a little bit of insulation, those air pockets. And right now it's comfortable to work in here in just a shirt. You know, it's freezing outside. We don't have a whole lot of sun coming in right now, but I don't think there'll be a problem with keeping this over freezing. I don't know how warm it'll get, you know, when I get this all insulated and the sun starts beating in here pretty good. I know we had a couple sunny days. I know it had to be getting up. I was down in a t-shirt. It had to be at least 70, 75. But, you know, that was before I had the ceiling insulated and everything. It just goes right out through that single layer of polycarbonate. And on this side too. That's the progress I have right now. It wasn't too exciting, so I didn't do too much filming of this insulation stuff. But thanks for checking in. We'll see you next time.